longer than 5 minutes.
Hi, my name is Sarah Seaman, and I'm here today to talk about a historic person who you might know. Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. If you know who I'm talking about, if you know what I just said, then you might know that I'm talking about Dr. Seuss, the popular children's book author. And that's who I'm going to be talking about today. He's one of the most popular children's books authors, obviously, because I don't know a single person who doesn't know who he is. And I remember growing up and reading a lot of his books. Like, I know I read Cat in the Hat a million times. Most people just know that he wrote books, but no one really knows what happened in his actual life, and that his real name wasn't Dr. Seuss. Okay, he was born as Theodore Seuss Giesel on March 2nd in the year 1904. He gives credit to his rhyming to his mom, because when he was younger, to help him and his siblings fall asleep, she would tell stories to them and they would rhyme. So he says that he gets rhyming from her. He grew up in Springfield, and he says that gave him a lot of inspiration for his drawings and all of his books, because he illustrated as well. For college, he attended Dartmouth, and he wrote for their newspaper called the Jack-o'-lantern. After he graduated Dartmouth, he went to Oxford, but he got bored there because school wasn't really his thing, so he toured the country, and that's where he met his wife, Helen Palmer. And they got married, and when he returned, he had cartoons published in the Saturday Evening Post, and he worked at doing campaigns for Standard Oil for 15 years. He did animation during World War II, and his first book, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, was rejected 27 times before it was published. His wife died in the year 1967, and a year later he married one of his best friends, Audrey Stone. And he died on September 24th in the year 1991. When he was in college, when he worked on the Jack-o'-lantern, he was the editor, but he got fired from his position when him and his friends were found having a kind of drinking party on campus, which were obviously against the rules. But he still continued to write and submit things into the Jack-o'-lantern, and when he did this, he did it under the name Dr. Seuss, and that's where it originated from. He published things in Life, Vanity, Vanity Fair, and Judge. He did some publications in the PM magazine during World War II, and one of his characters that was well known in his publications and magazines and things like that was Flit, and that's where the catchphrase "Quick Henry the Flit" came from. The awards that he got for his work: he had 2 Academy Awards, 2 Emmy Awards, a Peabody Award, and a Pulitzer Prize. And overall, he wrote 44 books, and they were published in 15 different languages. And at the time that I found this information, there were 200 million copies of his books around the world today. From his books, there have been 11 TV show specials, a Broadway show, and movies like Horton Hears a Who. He was really he was way more than a children's author. He was really persevering, and he worked really hard to get where he was, so that he was known by a lot of people for what he loved to do. The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go.